What is going on, Trash Talkers? We're back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to talk about players that are on the roster bubble for each team in the AFC East. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, Nick, as we continue this series talking about players that are going to be on the roster bubble, today we're going to be covering the AFC East. And we're going to start off by taking a look at the Buffalo Bills. And there's some interesting names on here, specifically F.A. Obata and Matt Barida. So why don't you tell us your thoughts on some of these players that could be cut before the season starts?
F.A. Obata was a big name that came over from the Carolina Panthers. He had some decent success with the Carolina Panthers over the last few seasons, racking up quite a few sacks. And he honestly might find himself on the outside because they added guys like Greg Rousseau and Carlos Basham Jr. in the draft this season, along with the fact that they added A.J. Epinesa in the draft last season. There is so much depth on this defensive line that a guy of F.A. Obata's caliber could find himself on the outside. And then Matt Barida, they brought him on for some potential depth, but Zack Moss and Devin Singletary have been working well together, and they are still looking much better than Matt Barida has. Matt Barida has been on the downslide of his career the last few years, bouncing from team to team, and it looks like he might be doing that once more, as he might not make this Bills roster.
Next up, we have the New England Patriots, where we take a look at players like N'Keal Harry at wide receiver, Michael Jackson at cornerback, and Nick Folk at kicker. N'Keal Harry really stands out to me because obviously it's been an arduous and tenuous process with N'Keal Harry ever since they drafted him. He has not lived up to expectations, specifically being linked to players like A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf, who were selected after him. I believe that N'Keal Harry has not only wanted the trade that he's demanded, but has also wanted just a fresh start. And I think that the Patriots may just want to open up that roster spot as well. And if he can't show in camp that he can get along with Cam Newton, especially after his agent called out the quarterback last year, then I think N'Keal Harry is going to be looking for a new job, whether it's through trade or just being cut from the team as a whole. So N'Keal Harry, big one to watch for the Patriots.
For the New York Jets, three names to watch out for are Denzel Mims, wide receiver, running back Tevin Coleman, and offensive tackle Chuma Edoga. And the big one that we all know stands out right here, Denzel Mims, the second-year wide receiver, big wide receiver, a guy that they expected to be the focal point of this offense moving forward. He's a guy who has not shown up for them this training camp, and a lot of people are questioning his abilities. He had an injury-prone first season. I don't know if Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh are going to want a guy like this, especially with the wide receiver depth they have added over the last couple of years. Denzel Mims might not be who they thought he was, and he might be traded at some point or just completely cut from this roster. And Tevin Coleman, he's a big add this offseason as well, but then they went and added Michael Carter in the draft, a big name. They had Michael Piron returning as a second-year player, and Tevin Coleman could be a cap casualty at the end of the day. They might want some extra cap to go and get somebody else at another position they need to fill. So Tevin Coleman is another one to watch out for.
Yeah, I just want to take a side note with Denzel Mims. He's had a very bad camp with the Jets, and obviously this is Robert Saleh's first year, so this is his real opportunity to judge these players based on what they put out on the field, and Denzel Mims just hasn't put out anything worthwhile for the Jets, and he hasn't been practicing with the first or second team offense. In fact, it's been with the scout team, with the third team offense, just trying to run some plays for the defense. But other than that, there's a lot left to be desired with Denzel Mims on the Jets right now. All right, moving forward to the Miami Dolphins, we have wide receiver Jakeem Grant, safety Clayton Fejedelem, and tight end Durham Smythe. Out of these players, Jakeem Grant really stood out to me, yet another wide receiver in the AFC East, because Jakeem Grant is one of those guys that a lot of teams would absolutely love to have. He is short, he is quick, and he is extremely fast, and what I would like to call shifty. He is one of those guys that you can just put on punt return, kick return in the slot, and he can do everything. He is basically a human joystick. Now, if you were to throw him on any other team, I think he would flourish. But with Tua Tagovailoa already trying to figure out what's going on with this roster, on top of the fact that they have added so many wide receivers this offseason, including Will Fuller and Jalen Waddle, I believe that the Miami Dolphins have so much at that position that Jakeem Grant may just be on the outside looking in and say, not this time around. All right, that'll be all. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.